If you're thinking about getting your first scooter and you're just kind of overwhelmed at the kind of mind-numbing array of choices and everything that's out there right now, these are some things you might want to consider looking into before you actually pull the trigger. Hey guys, it's Steve from Scooter King, and if you're thinking about getting your first scooter, you might be pretty overwhelmed at the mind-numbing array of choices and stuff that are out there and all the different styles and models that are available. There's a ton of them. So sometimes it really helps to kind of narrow it down and just go through a list of things. One of the biggest considerations about getting a scooter is really where you live. If your terrain is a lot of mixed terrain, so on-road, off-road, all that kind of stuff, really challenging roads, this is going to have an awful lot to do with the kind of scooter that appeals to you. So you really give that some thought when it comes to the kind of riding you think you're going to be doing on a regular basis, because really where you live is going to completely determine the kind of riding you get to do every day. If money is no object for you, then congratulations, you really don't have any real serious considerations. But for the rest of us, and you're really looking to find kind of the best balance of overall features versus the price you're going to pay, you're going to have to expect to do a little bit of shopping and research, because all these scooter companies are going to be vying for your dollar, and they're getting incredibly competitive now, especially in the $1,000 and below, you know, $1,000 and below market, and in the $2,000 and below market. They're incredibly competitive right now. Scooter companies are really trying hard to make the best balance of everything they can in those two price categories. So if you're in either one of those, really weigh out the things that are most important to you, because your budget's really going to determine the final category that you land in. Another consideration is the physical geometry of the scooter itself. Scooters basically come in kind of two major categories of geometry. One is the dual fork suspension scooters. So those are the kind that are like a motorcycle, where they have two forks, you know, or two pistons on the suspension part of the fork. And then on the back, they'll have a single swing arm with a suspension, you know, or suspension dampening system of some kind. And the other type is the C-style suspension scooters. And those are the kind like I'm riding today. And these have that same swing arm design for both the front and the back. So as a general rule, the ones that are the C-style suspension can absorb quite a bit of travel when it's, you know, when it comes to things like off-roading or uneven surfaces and that kind of stuff. Although some of the dual design ones like the Kaabo Warriors and those style can do that as well, if not better, because it has a very sophisticated front end suspension design. But you're going to pay a premium price for that. So it really depends on your budget. And in the end, which design you choose, whether it's the C-style suspension or it's the dual fork or the dual piston rather design, is going to have everything to do probably with the, you know, the amount of money you want to spend, for sure. Another big consideration you might want to think about when you're thinking about buying a scooter is whether or not you want a dual motor or a single motor scooter. And you might think that single motors don't go as fast or as far, but the truth is a well-designed single motor scooter can have much more range than a poorly designed dual motor scooter. Some of the single motor scooters like the Emu Cruisers and scooters like that offer an incredible amount of range for their cost. And dual motor scooters can also have really great range as well, as long as the components are well matched. So if the battery is a good size battery, so for example, I'm riding a Roadrunner RS5 Max. What makes this such a desirable dual motor scooter is because the components are really well matched. The RS5 has 1400 watt motors, and it has a 32 amp hour battery, which means the 1400 watt motors, which are pretty high wattage, aren't going to chew up that battery really fast. It's going to take a while. So they're definitely powerful with a ton of top speed and torque, but that big 32 amp hour battery means that you're not going to sacrifice range for all that power. Now, for example, there's a ton of 60 and 72 volt systems out there with super high wattage motors, you know, 2,500 watt motors, 3,000 watt motors. But those wattage motors are going to chew up a battery incredibly fast. So yeah, it's exhilarating to go super fast, but you're not going to go super fast for very long. And just sort of as an additional thought, I want to touch on the idea of top speed versus torque. This is such a hot topic in scooters, and I can tell you from personal experience and a ton of different riding situations and scenarios and terrains and different scooters, you really only use top speed a couple of times in a complete ride, if that, honestly, just because it's really exhilarating and it's a blast. But the truth is, in a ride, top speed isn't really that valuable. It's great to be able to go super fast, but in terms of, you know, actually using it every day or constantly during a ride, you don't use it very often. But torque, you absolutely use constantly. You use torque, and when I say torque, what I'm referring to is how fast the scooter can go from like 0 to 30. Torque is literally the measurement of the total output of your single or your dual motors combined when you floor it. And that maybe is the most important of all measurements, because torque is how you get yourself out of a sticky situation in traffic. Or torque is really the sense of exhilaration that you get when you first take off, or you know, go from 20 miles an hour to 35 miles an hour or whatever. That's torque, that's not top speed. Another consideration is the kind of components that your scooter actually comes with. So at first, if you've never owned a scooter before, you know, they might all look really similar and it's not that big of a deal. But the more you ride, the bigger a deal it'll become. So things like whether it has a trigger style, like a finger style throttle, or whether it has the under handlebar thumb style throttle, or whether it has a twist style throttle, all of these things feel really different and they affect the way you ride really differently. So for example, a finger style throttle, you pull back on. So think about that for a second. If you're riding a scooter and you're pulling back on the trigger, and then you hit a bump and you it forces you back like this, you're gonna pull farther back on that trigger, which is gonna make the scooter lurch forward. So it takes a little bit more control with a finger style throttle. However, some people think that you have more surgical control with that style of throttle. So if you're in an area where you can get to some scooters, it really does help to kind of just, you know, go find a few and really test them for yourself to see which kind of scooter style trigger is going to be most comfortable for you. And you might not know until you actually ride. Same is true for things like displays, how easy it is to see in bright sunlight, and the quality of the display. Components that have all metal housing, things that are like that, are a lot more robust and a lot more durable. And another consideration while we're talking about components is going to be your battery. Now, if you live in a warmer climate, especially a climate that has a ton of sunshine and the bulk of the year is pretty warm, then, you know, having a removable battery is not a really big consideration for you, not generally. However, if you live in climates that have considerably colder, you know, like really deep freeze winters and that kind of stuff, having a removable battery might be a really big consideration to you, because you can't really store your scooter in freezing temperatures, or more specifically, you can't store the battery in freezing temperatures. It'll destroy your battery. Another consideration is the braking system. Now, this might seem like not that big of a deal, especially if you've never owned a scooter before, but I promise you the difference between mechanical brakes and hydraulic brakes is huge. It gives you a great deal more control on a hydraulic brake system, but you're going to pay a premium cost for that. Mechanical brakes are generally going to have more throw in the actual swing arm of the brake lever, so you're not going to have quite as much precision control. as you would with hydraulic brakes. Hydraulic brakes typically can be very effective with less than 3/4 of an inch of travel on the brake lever. And this means that you can keep your hands firmly around the handlebars and a finger or two on the brake lever and have more than enough stopping power to safely bring you to a halt. And tires is a big consideration on a scooter as well. The kind of tires that you have typically coming from the manufacturer are generally going to be OEM style tires. And these aren't bad, but keep in mind, unless you're really paying a premium for the scooter itself, they're going to be, you know, they're going to be a bit of a compromise because the scooter manufacturer needs to make money. So they're probably going to be some combination of, you know, dual tread kind of on or off road, or they try to straddle that line and get tires that can kind of do okay on both, but they're not going to be, you know, high-end road performance tires like PMTs unless you spend big money. If you're buying, you know, $3,000 and $4,000 scooters, you're a lot more likely to see those on those types of scooters than you are on scooters that cost $1,000. So this is where it comes down to the kind of riding you think you're going to do. If you're going to do a lot of kinds of off-road riding, then having a big knobby tire with really aggressive tread is going to be a lot more important to you. If predominantly you do nothing but street riding, then you might want smoother tread tires so that you have a more effective contact with the road. They grip better, they corner better, they handle better on the road. Once you finally decide on the category of stuff that you're going to get, which scooter design and combination of components and things like motor and battery and controller and all that, once you make that decision and you end up with the scooter that looks like it's going to work best for you, I promise you, you're gonna have a blast. You're gonna dig it, and it's gonna be super fun. You're gonna get out there and you're gonna get a scooter that's really designed for your life, for exactly what you do. Because honestly, why do you have a scooter in the first place? To have fun. I mean, you got to keep that firmly in mind, because everything about a scooter is a blast. I mean, it literally just is a blast. Just that freedom, being able to go where you want to go. It's silent, it's smooth, and it just makes an awesome riding experience. Woohoo! Nothing feels like a scooter. It really doesn't. Nothing has that amazing cornering, that incredible responsiveness. There's just nothing that feels like a scooter. So in the end, after you've made all of your decisions and choices and you've done all your research, just get one. Just get out there and ride. Because nothing feels that much fun. Nothing is as much fun as just riding, regardless of where you are. Woo-hoo! Yeah! Woo-hoo! Perfect day to be on a scooter. Perfect day. Nice. Nice. Woohoo! You gotta love these dual tread tires when it comes to cornering. These things grip the road, man. And they do it on and off. So even if you're going off-road or whatever, it really pays dividends to have good quality dual tread tires. Makes all the difference in the world. Hey guys, thanks for going on a ride with me today. I appreciate it. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Do a little research and then find the scooter that looks like it's going to be best for you, and then get out there and rip it up. Have a blast. They are totally awesome to ride, and I promise you, you won't regret it. Have fun, stay safe. We'll catch you guys in the next video.